Hi guys, welcome back. This is Caroline. If you've never been here, welcome. Today I'm doing a speed paint of Hunter x Hunter, more specifically the characters Gon and Killua. So I got into Hunter x Hunter because of my brother. He's really into all the shonen animes like Dragon Ball and Black Clover. Um, so he was watching it on TV, and he always tries to have me watch it with him. And I started not at the beginning of the Hunter x Hunter series. I started with the Chimera Ant arc, and I've gotten a little bit past that. I really enjoyed that arc. I really got sucked in. I knew nothing about the characters, and their backstories, who they were. I didn't really know the main plot of the story, but I really enjoyed it. And something I found really unique about Hunter x Hunter is the narrative and the storytelling of it. So, you know, in a lot of things nowadays, the exposition of a story is done through action of a character or implication of, something they're thinking or dialogue between two characters. However, in Hunter x Hunter, what I find to be unique is that there's very long exposition and explanation of what's happening or storyline through characters in a monologue or through a narration. And it's every little detail. So even though I was coming into this pretty far into the series, I was getting full explanation from the actual show itself, and I didn't need as much filling in as you normally would if you were that far into a series that was already established. So recently, I noticed on Netflix that the series was there. So I've watched a few episodes from the beginning because I've enjoyed the series, so I kind of want to go back and see the full story of where these characters come from and who they are and what are hunters. I've gotten to hear a little bit from my brother, but I want to watch it for myself. And let me tell you, I have been very surprised um, by how different Gon is in the very beginning of the series to the Chimera Ant arc. So, in the beginning of the series, he's a very happy go lucky character. He seems aloof, but, very, you can tell that he is very powerful and he's unique to other people. They establish that almost immediately. But when I came into the series, further down the line, he he was very serious. He was angry. It was just a complete 180 from the character you see in the beginning. So I'm really excited to continue watching it and, getting to see the journey that he goes through and what leads to him, acting like that. And I won't spoil anything, but he's in a bit of a situation down the line. So, what kind of story does he lead and how does it get to that point? Now, I also love the friendship between Gon and Killua. You could tell they had a strong bond in the Ant arc, but how they met each other in the beginning, I'm sorry if this is a spoiler, but it is like one of the first or second episodes, is hilarious. And I feel like it's how you actually make your friends. You know, um, Typically in animes, how people, get to know each other, befriend each other, become acquaintances is something that's a bigger than life situation usually, or they are already friends, so you don't really get to see how their friendship unfolds and how they become friends. But literally, maybe it's the second episode or the third episode. I feel like it was the second episode. During the hunter exam, they have to run all these miles, and there's these other characters too. And there's this character named Leoriel. I'm not saying that right. It just sounds like to me like a French Oreo, his name. but he's like dying basically as they're running, and he sees Killua, this kid, just like on his skateboard, and like he is like, I mean, anyone would be, you'd be so angry, like you're like working hard, like working your butt off, and you just see this kid strolling on their skateboard, and he calls them out on it, and he's like, they didn't say that they couldn't do this, and then Gon's kind of right by him, um, and Gon again is in the beginning very aloof and kind of just goes with the flow, and he doesn't care. He just tells them something like, I can't remember, but it was something like, "Oh, cool skateboard." And then, by having this nonchalant attitude, and Killua kind of just has this respect for him and is kind of intrigued. And he gets off his skateboard and starts running with him, and they just start talking, and it's like instant friendship. And I really feel like that captures how you become friends with people. It kind of just happens, and it's this one little moment that kind of, it's like, I could be friends with this person. So I really like that. Also, what's really cool about this series is the creator of it, Yoshihiro Togashi, is married to Naoko, what's her last name? Takeuchi. And she is the creator of Sailor Moon. What a power couple in the anime world. Like, wow. That, like, I still can't get over that. That's still, like, a mind blower to me. And, I remember my brother mentioned it to me before I even started watching the show. But later on down in the series, you'll see references to Sailor Moon. And there was like a character who had these dolls, and they were, I can't remember what characters, maybe it was Tuxedo Mask or something, but they were Sailor Moon characters, the dolls, and that's just so cute that they have that. I also found it really interesting. So, when I was watching the Chimera Ant arc with my brother, he kind of just talked about this character, Kurapika, and he was saying how he was his favorite character and how angry he was, how he didn't really have much of an appearance in the arc, and, how that's like the best character. And so I never really got to see or learn or hear anything about this character because where I started in the series, they just weren't there. And so in the beginning, I'm starting to get to meet this character and know this character. And it's really interesting, the backstory of the character, and my brother mentioned this to me too, is that it's very similar to Sasuke, and apparently the creator of Naruto, who I cannot remember the name of right now, he based Sasuke's backstory, basically being from a clan with, this special power, and they have like red eyes, and it's like, not symbolic, but it like shows that they have this like unique power to only these clans people. And this person wipes out the clan, and there's one sole survivor. And in Hunter x Hunter, it's Kurapika, and so Sasuke is based after that. So it's really cool too to see how influential this series is, and the impact it has for some, other series that's so big itself. It's kind of crazy to think that this series can influence something as big as Naruto, which I feel like, I don't know if it's more well known than Hunter x Hunter, for Americans at least. So it's just very interesting. I really enjoyed the series. I can't wait to watch more and kind of learn more about the characters. Leoriel, God, I cannot say his name. He is hilarious. Like, the more and more I get to see of his character, the more I kind of relate, and I feel like he's me. I mean, not outwardly, but I feel like internally, my inner monologue is very similar to his, where he's like, I don't know, like bold, and he's like not sarcastic about things, but he doesn't like take things, like he gets annoyed easily, calls people out, you know, and he sticks up for his friends, things like that. So I'm really excited to see more moments from him and kind of just learning more about the world. It's really interesting in these animes that are like shonen, where they have like, I don't know, above human like abilities and skills, how they always have these examinations. I don't know where it started, but you think like hunter exams, like with Naruto, they have their like exams to become different levels of ninja. And then like most recently I've been watching Demon Slayer that just came out this year. That's a great series too. I totally recommend it. And they also have exams to become like these demon slayers. So I guess it really does make sense because, you know, in real life, to become like a practicing, I don't know, like a doctor or a lawyer, you have examinations too. But like to the level that they have them in these shonen like animes is really insane, and they always make a huge arc usually, not in Demon Slayers, but like in more traditional ones, it's a huge arc of them going through this exam, and you feel like you're going through it with them, and you're on your toes the whole time. So right now, Hunter x Hunter, where I'm at right now, is going through the exam with them, and it just keeps going and going, and like at every turn, you're like, well, how could this get worse? Because you know it's always going to get like tougher and worse, and like how does the writer top what just happened in the story? So in terms of story, it's really interesting. It's a great way to kind of get the audience invested into the story, like off the bat, because so much is happening like immediately. Like they give you a little bit of the world, so you have some kind of stake in it, you understand the rules, and then they just, you know, hit the ground running with these exams, with like all these like actions happening, and you really get to learn a lot about the characters too, because they're put into difficult situations. So it's just a very fascinating genre in a way to keep the storyline moving, if that makes sense. So yeah, so that's mostly what I have to say about Hunter x Hunter. For now, maybe I'll do more fan art later and have more to say about it the more I watch it, because I haven't seen that much really. I could talk about Chimera Ant, but I don't want to ruin that for anyone because I know that's a little bit further down the line, and that storyline is so good. I actually read ahead in the manga for that because I couldn't wait for each week for the episodes to come out, because due to the long narration that is a part of the story, it was taking so long, and it was really funny because, I mean, there was still a lot of narration in the manga, but it was just like, you could skip ahead if you wanted to. So, I read through that, and then I was ahead, and then I couldn't say anything to my brother because I knew what happened, and he was more patient than what I was with, finishing the story, so, but that will be another talk, maybe. So, if you guys have any anime or manga that you recommend me watching, or you'd like to see fan art of, maybe I've seen it, maybe I haven't, but I would love to hear about it in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you got some more insight with my drawing, or you just enjoyed hearing a little bit about my thoughts on Hunter x Hunter. Check out more of my art at my Instagram handle KidMoth, or check out my daily life at Curlin808, and I currently have a webtoons up called Des Apprentice, and my creator name is KidMoth. Bye guys!